The deadliest predator in the ocean is waiting in line, not to hunt, to be cleaned, and in 60 seconds, tiny fish will swim straight into those jaws. Look at what 30 years in the open ocean leaves on a shark's skin. Copepod parasites drilled into her fins, sea lice crowded around her scars, dead skin peeling along her stripes. So, every few days, she comes here to a coral outcrop the divers call a cleaning station. And if another shark is being served, the deadliest fish in the sea simply circles and waits her turn. The signal is understood. Cleaner rasa rise from the coral in a shimmer of blue, spread across her huge body, and begin picking the parasites off her skin one by one. And then she gives the signal every diver dreams of filming. Her jaws swing slowly open, rows of serrated teeth gleaming, and she holds them there, an invitation. Deeper still, her gills slits flare wide, and the little fish slip inside the most delicate part of any shark, cleaning the fragile red filaments she breathes with. For 20 minutes, the full service runs. Rasa work her fins, her stripes, her scars, the folds around her jaw. Every copepod they tear off is a wound that stops itching, an infection that never starts. A shark this size can carry hundreds of parasites, and by the end of a single visit, the little cleaners will have eaten almost everyone. Here is the mystery scientist spent decades on. Why doesn't she eat them? One snap and the wrasse are gone. The answer is written in her brain. Sharks that eat their cleaners get slower, sicker, and die younger. So evolution taught her the arithmetic. A mouthful of fish is worth less than a lifetime of service. The deadliest predator in the sea learned to protect her doctors. But a clean shark is still a hungry shark. She has not eaten in 9 days, and out beyond the reef, the seagrass meadows are calling. Green sea turtles graze there in the afternoons, and tiger sharks are the only predator in the ocean built to crack them. She peels away from the station, and the water around her changes. She strikes. A ton of muscle accelerates from stillness to full speed in one beat of her tail, and the meadow explodes. But the turtle has survived 20 years of afternoons like this one. It spins inside her turn, jams its shell edge on against her jaws, and paddles for the coral maze where no big shark can follow. Her teeth rake the shell and close on water. She circles the coral maze once, twice, then lets it go. 9 hunts out of 10 end exactly like this, and a shark who wastes energy on lost causes does not reach 30. But the strike has cost her more than a meal. The turtle's shell has scraped a raw patch along her snout, and the ocean's smallest opportunists can smell it already. So she does what tiger sharks have done for 50 million years. She swims straight back to the station. The wrasse rise to meet her, find the raw scrape within seconds, and begin the gentlest work of their day, picking the settlers off the wound, cleaning the damaged skin, keeping the scrape from becoming a scar with an infection underneath. Watch the economy running on this one coral head. The wrasse earn up to 1,200 meals a day without ever leaving home, protected by clients no reef predator will annoy. The sharks get parasite removal, wound care, and dental service no evolution of their own could build. Scientists tracking stations like this found sharks will travel 50 kilometers and queue behind rivals they would normally fight just to keep their appointment. The service moves to the places she can never see, along the sweeping edge of her tail, where drag-loving copepods anchor deepest, across her pale belly, where sea lice hide from the light. She rolls slightly onto her side, an astonishing gesture of surrender for an apex predator, and lets the little doctors work the underside of a body built for killing. The sun is dropping toward the surface far above, and the reef begins its shift change. The wrasse work faster now, racing the light, and then, mid-pick, they stop. Every cleaner on the station freezes at once, reading something in the water that no shark and no camera can sense yet. Far out in the blue, sound is traveling. And then she hears it too, a sound that reaches down into 50 million years of instinct and turns the ocean's deadliest predator into prey. The pulsing calls of killer whales, orcas, the only hunters in the sea that kill great sharks, and they do it with technique, precision, and teamwork no shark can answer. The calls are getting louder, they are coming along the reef. The orcas see her braid, wheel, closing with the easy speed of animals twice her size. She dives for the reef wall, threading canyons too tight for their great bodies, doubling back through arches, spending every trick 30 years of ocean has taught her. One wrong turn into open water, and technique will beat teeth. Everything now is geometry. She does not stop to watch. She drops over the reef edge into the deep scattering layer where sound bounces and shadows lie, and holds still against the dark wall while the great black fins carve the water above. The calls pulse, circle, fade, and after the longest 4 minutes of her year, dissolve back into the open ocean. The queen of the reef breathes again. Night falls, and hunger finally wins its argument. In the dark shallows, her senses become weapons no prey can match, and an unlucky barracuda pays the bill. 9 failed hunts have been builded. She feeds quickly, quietly, alone in the black water. Tomorrow the wrasse will clean her teeth of every trace. Tonight, the ocean simply balances its books. And when the first light comes down through the blue, she is already there, first in line at the coral head. Last night's meal written all over her teeth. The wrasse rise from the reef to meet their biggest client, and the whole ritual begins again, exactly as it has every few days for 30 years. Same station, same fish, same open jaws. The morning service is the deepest of all. Overnight settlers picked from her stripes, the scrape on her snout, already healing, cleaned again. Gill filaments combed, fin edges cleared. She hangs in the golden water with her eyes half closed, a ton of apex predator gone soft as a sleeping cat, while a dozen fish smaller than her teeth put her back in order. And along this one reef, the same service is running everywhere you look. Manta rays hovering like patient aircraft, moray eels gaping while their teeth are picked, turtles, groupers, even the reef sharks that fled her shadow yesterday, all holding still for the same little blue fish, the ocean's most feared creatures, lined up at the smallest business in the sea. By full morning, the work is done. The copepods of 30 days gone, the lice around her old scar gone, the scrape sealed and clean. The last wrasse makes one final pass along her jaw, picks one final stubborn passenger from the corner of her mouth, and drops away into the coral. Under the stripes, for a few perfect days, there is nothing left but shark. We remember the orcas in the gloom, the chase through the canyons, the 4 minutes of held breath in the dark. But the truth of her 30 years is smaller and stranger than any of it. It is a fish the size of your finger, swimming into the deadliest jaws in the ocean, on a promise neither of them can speak and neither has ever broken. So the next time someone tells you the ocean is ruled by teeth, remember the coral head where the teeth wait in line. Remember the queue of predators, the open jaws, the little blue doctors working inside them. Power built the shark, but partnership is what keeps her alive. A predator who survives orcas and 30 years of open ocean, kept in service by fish smaller than her smallest tooth. That is the real lore of the reef. If a story like this amazed you, subscribe to Nature's Cleaners, and we will keep uncovering the hidden partnerships that hold the wild together. In 3 days, the parasites will return, and so will she, gliding out of the blue to the same coral head, jaws opening on schedule, one more deadly giant, held together by the smallest hands in the ocean. Thank you for watching. We will see you at the next Hidden Alliance.